Imagine standing in front of a huge city wall. The wall is tall, it is thick, and it seems impossible to break. But instead of attacking with weapons, an army marches around the city, blowing trumpets. Then suddenly, the massive walls collapse. Let me tell you the incredible story of the walls of Jericho. Welcome to Bible Stories and Tales, where we share inspiring stories from the Bible to grow your faith. Today's story shows how faith and obedience to God can overcome even the strongest obstacles. Let's begin. After many years of wandering in the wilderness, the Israelites were finally ready to enter the land God had promised them. Their leader was Joshua. Joshua had been chosen by God to guide the people after Moses. As the Israelites traveled toward the promised land, they reached a powerful city called Jericho. Jericho was strongly protected. The city had enormous walls built to keep enemies out. The gates were tightly shut because the people of Jericho were afraid of the Israelites. Joshua and his people looked at the city and wondered how they could ever defeat it. The walls seemed impossible to break. But God had a surprising plan. God spoke to Joshua and gave him unusual instructions. Instead of attacking the city with weapons, the Israelites were told to march around the city once each day for 6 days. 7 priests would walk in front of the army carrying trumpets. Behind them, the priests would carry the Ark of the Covenant, a sacred symbol of God's presence. The people were told not to shout. They were to march quietly around the city. Then they would return to their camp. This must have seemed very strange. How could marching around a city bring down its walls? But Joshua trusted God, and the people obeyed. For 6 days, the Israelites marched around Jericho. The people inside the city watched from the walls. Day after day, the Israelites circled the city. Trumpets sounded as the priests walked. But the people remained silent. Nothing happened. Then came the 7th day. On that day, God told Joshua that the people must march around the city 7 times. Once again, the priests blew their trumpets as they walked. The army followed behind. The people of Jericho watched nervously from the walls. When the 7th march was complete, Joshua gave the command, "Shout, for the Lord has given you the city." The people shouted loudly. The priests blew their trumpets. And suddenly something incredible happened. The massive walls of Jericho began to shake. Then they collapsed. The huge stone walls fell down around the city. The Israelites were able to enter Jericho easily. God had given them victory, not through weapons or strength, but through faith and obedience. The people realized that God's power was greater than any wall or obstacle. This story teaches us that sometimes God asks us to trust Him, even when His instructions seem unusual. The Israelites did not understand how marching around the city would bring victory. But they obeyed. And God did the impossible. In our own lives, we may face obstacles that feel like giant walls. But when we trust God and follow His guidance, He can make a way where there seems to be no way. If you enjoyed this story, please like this video and subscribe to Bible Stories and Tales for more inspiring Bible stories. Share this video with your friends and family. And remember, faith in God can bring down even the strongest walls. God bless you.